All right, here we go. So, hey, welcome to Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. Damon Pistolka. How are you, brother?
I am great, Kurt, and I am excited today to talk with Michael Perry.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Dude, I even did my hair today. I'm like so excited.
I was wondering.
Yeah,
It looks good, Kurt.
did.
It looks good.
You got those tips I sent you, Kurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. So, hey, let's dive in, guys. We're going to dive into SEO success stories here in wonderful state of Illinois, even though Michael's the only one in Illinois. But we're going to dive into this wonderful company called AmeriChem. We've got our dear friend, Paula Santana. Paula, happy Wednesday. How are you?
Happy Wednesday. Good. Yeah, doing really good.
Well, thank you for joining us. Well, thank you for joining us. We've got a really exciting program here today. So, Michael Perry, my dear friend, how are you, dude?
I'm doing great. Sun is shining, beautiful day here, and just loving life. So thank you, Kurt. I appreciate being here.
Our privilege, and the sun's always shining in Chicago. That's what they say. Is there a song like that? I don't know. I'm just making it up. If not, maybe we should make one, right? It's always sunny in Chicago. So, Michael, let's dive in. So first and foremost, we had questions that came in. A bunch of people are firing off questions. They're like, you're having the Michael Perry on the show, but we have questions for Michael Perry because we don't get that too often. Michael, when you were a little boy growing up, did you grow up in Chicagoland?
Yes, I did.
Right,
Chicago boy.
When you were a little boy growing up, my friend Michael Perry, who was your hero? Who did you look up to? Who did you admire? Who was your hero when you were a little boy growing up?
Well, I was blessed to just, have a hardworking dad that, showed me a lot of the ropes. I had a couple of best friends and their dads. And, when I was growing up, just learning about sports, how to play baseball, things like that, is super exciting. And then, as I got older, of course, you're looking up to the guys that are out there making it big time in sports, So I was actually a huge Barry Bonds fan. So I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed, with all the controversies that he went through. But I had all of his cards. I was just a huge collector of baseball cards back in the day, and just loving the sport. Never played it, on a high school team myself, but just around the sandlot growing up. So all those guys that taught me how to play, and the professional athletes that I admired, those are the guys I looked up to.
Well, absolutely love it. And what's Dad's name?
He's also Michael Perry. So I'm the second, he's senior. And then I got a little guy, Michael Perry, at home too. He's carrying on the name, the third. So yeah, we're a little family trend there.
Hey, well, keep it simple, brother. Keep it simple. Absolutely love it. So a lot of fierce advocates in your life, helping you from sports, discipline, teamwork, all of the above. And Damon, I have to say, man, I saw Barry Bonds live many times, and I know it kind of stinks of the whole controversy. That guy was a heck of a hitter, was he not?
Was. It's incredible.
Man, the 73 home runs. I actually caught him the year that he broke that record in San Francisco, and he put one out in a bay. The place just like Damon, like last night, your son was going crazy. It was just like they won the World Series. So, okay, walk us down memory lane. Thank you for sharing that. Let's dive into AmeriChem systems. I want to get into your background, but first, AmeriChem, for curious minds out there, please share, how are you and the amazing team at AmeriChem systems, how are you guys making the world a better place?
Well, AmeriChem Systems is a 35-year-old business that is this kind of quiet giant in the industry, making custom equipment for chemical companies, OEMs, anyone that needs any sort of custom equipment, especially around harsh environments. So we're doing a lot with some really nasty chemicals, also some flavorful, scents, lots of different things, whether it's gas or liquids. We're moving things around and really making some really inventive systems, which is cool to see. And I love it. I say we're kind of like this 30-year-old startup business because the last, 3 years we've been on a tear. And actually we've got this Inc. 5000 award, for fastest growing companies in America. And it's just been really cool to be a part of with all these world-class engineers and these super loyal customers that love us and use us and recommend us to other people. So that's a little bit about what we do, Kurt.
Well, I know like the first day that you and I met, man, I'm an Inc. magazine junkie. And my eyes went immediately to that little word. Hey, can we see that word back there? Inc. 5000. So my first call with Michael Damon, and I see that little, I'm like, dude, you're, as a matter of fact, I think it was on the floor behind you, wasn't it? Or it was back there. I'm like, it was just this big thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're on the Inc. 5000. So Michael, curious minds also want to know, how'd you do it? What's the secret? So for entrepreneurs out there, our friends out there listening, they're like, hey man, I want to be on the Inc. 5000. What do you have to say? What advice would you give?
Yeah, I think the beauty of what we're doing here is really just being collaborative with our existing clients, and just listening to what their needs are, asking the questions about how this is going to help them, how can we make them more productive, and not so much focus on, hey, let's sell you something, let's build something for you, but really getting into that long-term planning and listening mindset has been a huge, benefit to us in our growth. Really just shows that we're an advocate for our clients. We're not just here to be a vendor, but we want to be a partner. And we're looking for other partners that value that kind of long-term mindset. And we've been blessed to have clients that have been with us for 3 decades. And we want to continue to build on that. And we're bringing on a couple new partners every year. And it's been fun just to kind of show them our mission, values, and our vision for that partnership between us.
Now you've had an interesting background career in the past. Talk a little bit like when coming out of college, or like, what was Michael, what in early 20s, what was Michael going to do? Like aspirations, dreams, what direction were you going when you're a little younger guy?
Yeah. Well, when I was a little kid, people used to laugh because I either wanted to be a scientist or a lawyer, so they were like a little left brain, right brain going on there. And, I ended up getting into electrical sales. One of my friends from a Bible study, of all things, he came to me and he said, hey, I need someone to help me sell more electrical wire and conduit and light bulbs. And I was like, I know what a light bulb is. I could figure this out. Right. So we got to working, and huge company, Fortune 500 company, and just got gravitated more and more towards the more technical electrical components. So started off selling the basics, and then kind of got more into robotics and conveyors and motors and things like that. And was really blessed. It was a great season of life. And eventually I came to meet at a social event, the owners of the AmeriChem systems. And they were like, hey, do you know anything about automation? And so we got to talking, and lo and behold, jumped out of this 9,000 person, Fortune 500 company and joined this tight-knit group of 19 employees with some world-class engineers. And now we're leading 42 here, some impressive growth.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So it's been cool to look back and see that trajectory of my career and where I started.
Man, it's just, it's so inspiring and it's so funny how, like, you just kind of, God leads you in a path and you just end up at this amazing company. And Paolo and I have had the privilege of meeting some of your teammates, and you guys are just so, just absolutely crushing it, and just your dedication to like that customer success. Paolo, let's get you on stage here, and we're gonna be ping-ponging back and forth. What was your experience working with Michael and AmeriChem? What was your takeaway?
Well, I think just everything that he was saying about the collaboration, and, you ultimately as a business, you're trying to make money, but you're also trying to make a place of, the world a better place. And I think what AmeriChem does is like, it touches all of our lives in the most unexpected of ways. So you got to just focus, like realize that what you guys do really affects everything that we do day in and day out, whether it is aromatic, perfumes, or just the things that you don't think about, like that has those aromatic contents to it, gas, so everything that you are doing, and energy too, right? Like I think you guys do nuclear systems or powers or something that helps along the lines, if I remember correctly. And so I think like that collaboration is so key. And I love that you said that, because even working with you, it's a collaboration. You would come to our meetings like ready to take notes, like just to give us your expertise, your amazing knowledge of what you're doing, and just the fact that you really care and are looking to work with your clients, right? We're trying to solve problems together, not looking at you as just a dollar sign. Your success really is going to be your own success, because together we're working to get an end result that's going to be productive to the entire country, the world. So it was the same with him working with Michael.
And drop the mic, Paula. That was fantastic. So, all right. Hey, Damon, we got a couple friends here. We got a little happy face. And how about this one here?
Greetings from India.
Greetings from India. So happy. What is today, by the way? It's Wednesday. We're at the hump, right? So
yes, it is.
So you know what? Somebody sent me a note first thing this morning, and they put a little camo emoji, and I've never thought of that.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
There you go.
Mike.
Mike. Hump day.
Yeah, happy hump day. So that came from Paula. That came from Roger at Falconer Electronics. So I got a kick out of that one.
That's a good one.
So
that's probably one of our staple commercials, right? Michael, our generation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's right. So, hey guys, drop us a note. Let us know you're out there. Do yourself a favor. Connect with Michael Perry on LinkedIn. We're going to check out his website. Damon, as I pull up his website, comments, thoughts, what do you got?
Oh, I think that it's super cool when you get to look at the companies like AmeriChem Systems, Michael, because we don't understand all the pieces that go into, the things around us, that just the things that are around us all day long. Like it could be a lotion, it could be something industrial, it could be, a food product. There's so many different things that we have that have these components or this specialized automation to make things that we don't even think about that. First of all, we don't know about it. And then we don't even think about it because we buy the end product and love it.
Yeah.
And that's all we get exposed to.
Right.
Yeah. So cool.
Exactly. Michael, I'm going to pull up your website, put you on the spot. What's the best, you mentioned some what's the best smelling product that you guys have created a system for?
Well, I like to tell about the candy stories, anything that involves sweets, I got my sweet tooth, so I like to tell about, anything that's sweet. We've done some really cool stuff with some of the energy drinks. We've done some stuff that doesn't smell so great, that, we'll leave the viewers wondering about that.
We'll leave that out.
Those ones, but, anything that involves candy, I'm all about it. So, working with the guys, at some of the biggest, chocolate manufacturers and candy manufacturers, whether it's, your favorite rainbow colored little circles that you make, that you eat, or if it's the things that, you need to take a break every once in a while and get that snap and that crunch with the chocolate. I mean, they're some great companies to work with. And I just love how we've been able to save some of them some money by analyzing some of the different ingredients that go into them. And one of the ones I love talking about is there's some of these companies have been making chocolate the same way for over 100 years, and we've been able to come in there and say, hey, well, what are your expenses on the raw materials? Where are your overages? And even a few things like a few gallons of this that could be a little bit light on one batch or a little bit over on one batch. That it could be a pretty big expense, especially at the volume of chocolate that they're making. And so we were able to do a little bit of analysis, add a couple of instruments for them on one of their systems. And at the end of the year, they came back and said, hey, that $200,000 we spent on that project, we ended up saving almost $2 million at the end of the year in raw materials. And it was just amazing to them that a small change in a couple of batches, over the course of the year, what it added up to. So I love telling those projects because it really speaks to, how we're not just trying to sell something, but we're trying to help them and help them for the long term.
Yeah. And that's, and I want to dive into that for a second. Because like big takeaway for me working with you is, not only you're selling a product, but we talked a lot about, out teaching the competition, how you guys are fierce educators, how you align with your customers, how you play the role as consultant. And like you said, like, hey, this is how we've done it for 100 years. And you're coming in and saying, hey, totally respecting your legacy. However, have you thought of this, or could we tackle this? Or is there a better way? Right. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. And a lot of times, that you're doing the same thing. You're teaching the next generation to do the same thing, without that fresh set of eyes, to come in and kind of ask those questions, sometimes challenge them a little bit, that those are the things that, we're not afraid to do, where we see specifications or we see a drawing come in and they're like, hey, we want you to build this. We take all of our engineers, we take a review of it. we talk to them, we ask the questions, why is it like this? What have you thought about that? And those simple things just, and they're like, well, that's just how it's been done, and they don't know why it was doing like that, So I love just being able to be that question asker and help them, provoke that thought. And then, they get together with their subject matter experts, and then together we can come together on some different options and make them an even better system as a result.
Yeah. And I would also add that you guys do that for yourselves. So even in our whole entire process, there were moments where you had your own aha moments about your own processes and systems internally. So, and I think that speaks volumes to a company who can turn the mirror around, right, and put it on yourself and be like, hey, we need to improve our own systems, our own processes, or we need to look at this maybe avenue or area of our business a little differently. So I think that's also, my also takeaway from that is that you're also willing to turn that on yourselves as well.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, and it's even more important with the growth that we've had recently, because you are starting to realize, hey, something that was a little problem before is now ballooning into something that's really impacting your operations. And so, we've had to do exactly that, a little process and evaluation of our own processes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you double your company in size, you're inviting a whole different, different company culture, folks, team, processes, all the above. And it takes a lot to keep everybody rolling in that same direction.
Yeah.
So, all right. Can you guys see my screen okay? Of course.
There it is.
Yeah.
So, all right, here it is, Michael. So again, for folks out there, some people might be catching this on audio later. For our friends here, we're showing Michael's website. It's AmeriChem Systems Inc. And we strongly encourage you, welcome you, connect with Michael on LinkedIn. Michael, you shared with the solution, how you guys are making the world a better place. Kind of give us a description, share with folks, like what exactly do you guys do? Where do our friends out there, where do they see your solutions?
Yeah, so AmeriChem Systems starts from America and chemical put together in one word. So AmeriChemSystems.com. We've been blessed to build systems all across the world. And, you think chemical, you immediately think, bleach, things that you don't want to smell, things that you don't want to touch, right? But what I've come to realize, through working with AmeriChem Systems for the last 3 years is that chemicals are in everything, whether it's flavors and fragrances, raw ingredients. We've been working with even flour mills and sugar processors that are taking raw beets and turning them into the pure white sugar that we love and enjoy. All of those are chemical processes. And so what we do as a company is we build custom engineered modular equipment. And so what that means is that we're not afraid to tackle any problem that the customer may have, whether they're trying to improve production, improve quality, trying to reduce downtime, whatever their specific problem may be, we're happy to help design a system that fits their needs. And the modular part just speaks to the fact that, we're building stuff that goes on trucks. So, something that can fit onto a semi truck. Sometimes we're building systems that are 100 feet by 80 feet footprint, 3 stories tall. And you're like, well, that's not going to fit on a semi truck. Well, we can make that modular into different components that then can be tested here, make sure it's functional, and then broken down into smaller modules for shipment. So we design and we fabricate. So at the core of our business, that's what we are. We're a design house and a fabrication house. So anything that you need for your market, whether it's equipment that's pumping liquids or analyzing gases, or sometimes even laser marking parts that are going into an automotive vehicle. So we've been blessed to kind of be a part of a whole bunch of different things. I know, Paolo, you mentioned energy earlier. We've been doing a lot with the nuclear plants recently, coal fire plants, and a little bit of everything in between. So it's fun. We actually just received a Innovator of the Year award from IMA for one of our automation projects. Thank you. Yeah, we're really proud of it.
Very cool.
Thankful and blessed to be a part of that. And that was really for the bottling line people that are, making the carbonated soft drinks, that we love and enjoy. Whether you're on the blue team or the red team, we don't care. We just want to help you make more soft drinks. So it's been fun to be recognized by the IMA for that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
You were the red team. I love it.
So, hey, one thing I want to comment here. So I'm going to come back. You guys, you mentioned global. So when you look here, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Now, next time you guys have a project in Australia, if you guys need like a bald guy on your team, I'm just saying, I'm just asking for a friend.
Okay. There's a big line of people waiting to go to the Hawaiian project.
The Hawaii, yeah. Damon and Paula might want to go to the Hawaii project. I want to go to the Australia project. So keep us in mind. Well, you don't be greedy. I'm just teasing. So, all right, let's go here. So, one thing, Paula, you mentioned energy, you mentioned nuclear just now, Michael, and your Fortune 500 companies. I mean, it takes a lot for a company to trust, and again, you guys are in high growth mode, 19 employees up to 40. What would you say, what's one of the key ingredients for you guys to earn somebody's trust? They've never heard of AmeriChem before. What's one of those first factors for building that trusting relationship? It's not like I'm buying a $1.99 pen from you guys. I'm buying a major piece of equipment. My job's on the line. What do you have to say there as far as building trust?
Yeah, for us, I mean, we really lean on, standards and referrals for that trust building. We have submitted ourselves to the ISO 9001 standard for our quality management system. And so that just means we're audited annually by an independent third party to make sure that our quality management system is going through the rigorous international standards of the ISO 9001. We also carry ourselves with certified welders, certified fabricators, certified electricians. So we're submitting ourselves to those international standards as well, whether they're from AWS, ASME, UL, or any other applicable standard. And I think that goes a long way to speaking to the quality and the workmanship. And then beyond that, we always welcome people to come to our shop and witness it for themselves. And we've had third-party inspectors, we've had qualification teams that are sent, before we get invited to a bid or before we get awarded a project. And, every single one of them takes 2 steps into our fabrication shop, and they're immediately wowed. They say, you guys are doing welding and grinding and, these dirty processes, but you walk into our shop and it's clean, it's well lit. You could tell that we have a pride in our work and what we do, and that shows through our facility and through our people. So I'd start there when I'm building trust, and I hope that someone would take that extra time it takes to come do a walkthrough at our facility, and we'd love to have anyone that wants to come see it.
Absolutely. We got to take you up on that. Damon, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, just looking at the complexity of the things that you build, right? If people have not worked in these processing industries where things run 24/7, 365 days a year, maybe shut down a day or two just for scheduled maintenance. I mean, just the kind of durability you need to build into your systems, the kind of redundant systems, whatever it is, because of the critical nature in some of these things that you're going to make. The level of detail that you have to take to build those is like a step above what we're normally used to in the outside world. That's for sure. It's so cool to see you guys doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I would just add, you guys are award winning, and I know that can be a lofty or maybe oh, great, you win awards. But the Innovator Award that you just mentioned, your team is going out there and they're not just winning awards just because you guys are amazing and great. Your team is actually creating systems that are an improvement to a client's workflow, an entire system that can maybe be placed in another customer because you guys are really actually revolutionizing that process or that, piece of equipment to help the world or help your customers. So I think that that's also really key. That helps build that trust.
Absolutely, you're exactly right.
Michael, let's go here. So what year did you come on board?
So I came on board in 2022. So it's been 3 years as of September 1st.
Nice.
Well, 3 years. What do you feel has been one of the key ingredients? Our little show, we call ourselves, Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. You've done an amazing job helping AmeriChem. What would you say or share that has really helped you guys stop being the best kept secret?
Yeah, I think, up until, I came on board, really, we relied on word of mouth, and we had some great growth, through just our customers that, sometimes would leave a company and started a new company and wanted to work with us again, or, even within certain industries, like the nuclear field, for example, they're a tight-knit group of people that are running nuclear generation facilities. Yeah. And so when you do something well for one of them, the word tends to spread. But, one thing that we've done differently recently is doing more of these, teaching the competition, teaching our customers, getting out there and being an educator. Simple things that, are really nerdy, design topics like how do you design suction piping for centrifugal pumps, right? That's a mouthful, right? Can you, for someone that's not in the industry, they're immediately that topic's just gone right over their head. But for some people that are out there designing pumping systems, it's a big topic. And so as we started to do some of these more technical blog posts and put them out there on the LinkedIn and the website, we started to get a whole lot of interest. So from around the world, even just people that were asking us questions, commenting, sending us messages. And we realized we were onto something. And that's really how we got introduced to Kurt and your team. I mean, looking to do more of that and adding more of a structure to, our blog posts and frequency and how that's been, has been amazing. We've seen new customers coming to us. We've seen new engineers that want to come work for us. So it's been a lot of fun. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we've done in 2025 to really make sure we're not the best kept secret anymore.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And so, when you educate, I've got chemical feed systems. I always get a kick out of this because, Paula, I never knew what a chemical feed system was until we met Michael. But diving in, you're focusing on educating those folks beyond blog posts. Like, what are other ways, as a matter of fact, let me back up a second. Did you ever think that you'd be like attacking digital strategies before? Like, what were your thoughts before, joining AmeriChem? Did you see yourself jumping on doing this whole digital marketing thing?
Oh, yeah, no. Before this, I was, really focused about just meeting new customers, going to networking events, things that, kind of more salesperson 101 type stuff, right? Making those cold calls. And I think what I've learned now is, thanks to Kurt and Paolo, I learned how to spell SEO and, was able to figure out what a blog is. And, thankfully, we've been able to do more of this digital marketing and really turn this sales guy over here into, more of an expert marketer and also help my team here internally understand the value in it, understand the process and kind of demystify some of it because it can be a little intimidating, for someone that doesn't have that digital marketing background. And I think that's really where B2Btail came in and helped our organization. I think now I know how to spell SEO thanks to you guys. And, we've been able to see a couple of new projects come in. And it's been really cool just to even get an inquiry based off of our website, which before was more of the front door for new customers. Once I've met them, I send them to them. But now our website's more working for us in the background, which is really cool.
Nice. I think I want to just highlight the word that you said, fun. Like, it should be fun. It shouldn't be this like, oh my gosh, I know it's important, I need to do it, but you should also have fun because this is the topic that you are the expert in. And it's okay to shine a little bit in that and geek out, to use Kurt's one of his catchphrases. I love geeking out, right? And I think that that's okay. It should give you permission to geek out on what you know and what you can share and hope. And because you know what, even no matter how small your little audience might be, there's someone out who's going to geek out right with you because they're like, yeah, you touched on something that I love talking about because it needs to be more. Yeah. And there's a place for quote unquote boring, right? Like, this is something like maybe not someone like me who would be into it if I'm not working with you, if I'm just like a, social media person or I'm doing movies and things like that. But this, when you start to see it out there in the world, it's like, gosh, like now I know who I'm going to come to for chemical feed systems. These guys know exactly what they're talking about. I don't understand it, and maybe if I drop down the road, I'm like, I know who I'm going to go to first. That's great. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, we love it. It is fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to hit back that Inc. 5000. For folks, what time? Hey, we're at the top of the hour. So if you're just joining us, we have. Hey, Damon, here's a comment right here. Michael is truly inspiring. Gopal, I totally agree with you 100%. Yeah. And guys, if you're just joining us, drop us a note. Let us know that you're out there. Give a hello. Let us know where you're coming from. Do yourself a favor. Please connect with Michael on LinkedIn. We are here checking out AmeriChem Systems. So, Michael, I want to dive into that Inc. 5000. was the Inc. 5000, was it intentional? Like, was like, hey guys, like we have very structured growth that we're going to attack. This is how we're going to get there. Like, walk us through a little bit. Like, what was the mindset? I'm going to dive into the mindset of a small company that achieves such a great accomplishment.
Yeah, we just decided, hey, we're going to go out there and we're going to go kind of reintroduce ourselves to our existing customers. We're going to say, hey, you know us and love us for, one of these products or one of these solution sets, whether it's filter systems or feed systems, and tell them, hey, listen, we can do this other stuff for you. We can build a containerized system. We can build a full production plan of 13 different systems coordinated together. And start to get out there and network even within our internal customers, right? So, and then once we did that, then going out to the marketplace, being more intentional about having more just introduction conversations. And it's been inspiring to hear the feedback on that, to say, hey, we know you, we love you, we've used you on 50 projects over the last 10 years, but we never knew you could do this. And our other suppliers are having issues with quality and timeliness, but we've always trusted AmeriChem systems to deliver exactly what you say you will. And so that's been really fun. Just the kind of the basic nature of it is, we've grown as a company, but some customers, have met us 10 years ago and don't know what we can do now for them. And so that's really the biggest thing. And we want to continue just to be that sticky supplier, that vendor that turns into a partner. If they use us once, let's figure out a way to continue to build on that success. And really, at the end of the year, we looked back and we said, wow, we blew that, 30% growth target out of the barrel. And now we've doubled, now we've tripled, now we've quadrupled. And we said, hey, let's try and see if we can get one of those Inc. 5000 awards, and submitted our growth and past numbers to them. And they said, yeah, you guys are, in fact, number 72 in manufacturing in the nation.
Wow.
We hit number 137 for growth in all of Illinois. So pretty impressive. I mean, especially when you're thinking of, the tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of companies that are represented by that list. It's really cool to be a part of that.
God, what an honor, right? Damon, what are your thoughts?
Well, and I think that it's super cool that you're able to, proving your history of working with customers and really doing a good job by being able to go back to them with more products and services that they need, that are valuable to them, and continue that growth, right? Because if you're good at this part and these other things that are complementary to that, it helps them so much because they have one source rather than going to multiple to do what they need to do, and drives your growth, helps them do things better.
Oh yeah, exactly right. And I think for us too, we love to figure out, ways that we can network within our customers. And, one of our customers makes a lot of chemicals. They make chemicals for the food industry, but there's another group that makes chemicals for the power generation industry. And so, as we know and love them on the food side, they said, hey, we've got some colleagues over there on the power side we'd love to introduce you to. And things like that, just to, make things so much easier when you have that warm introduction inside the family kind of feel, and just speed things up quite a bit for our growth too.
Yeah. Awesome. And you made a phenomenal point that I want to emphasize for folks is a lot of times you make the assumption that people know what's going on or what you do. You know what I mean? And I love that you said that. And I want to emphasize that for folks listening is like, I caught a podcast, or I heard something like, you should almost never, or almost not almost, you should typically never assume that people know what you do, or just, constantly remind them. Yes. And I love what you described. So again, like, here's a formula. This is coming from like a company that's on the Inc. 5000, everything, top 137 in Illinois, top 75 manufacturers, number 72, I think you said, like, you guys are walking the walk, not talking the talk, you're walking the walk. And you methodically went in and said, like, hey, our customers need to understand exactly what we're doing. Right.
Yeah, absolutely, Kurt. You got it right on the head.
Like, if there's any takeaway today, like, I don't think you can overstate how important that is. Paula, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just thinking from a marketing, like just kind of put this from a marketing perspective, like you're as a company or a brand, or just as someone, if you yourself are a brand, you're told to like, you need to niche down, you need to like only work on that little niche, but you miss other people who might need your services or might need your expertise. And so you have to leave the door open a little bit so that people who are like wondering, oh my gosh, like I don't quite fit in what you do, and it comes down to like, if you don't ask, you're never going to know. And you may not get the right help that you need, knowing that that person has, or that company has the right solution for you. And so I think it's almost a little bit humbling, like, okay, you do got to leave a little bit, the door cracked open so that you allow past clients or maybe some potential new clients that you don't know could use you to be able to come back to you and be like, hey, we work together, or I saw you work with this person. This is what I do, or this is what we need, or the solution we're trying to resolve. Do you think you guys can help us? And it's better to get like, hey, great, we can't do that for you. And then know that, okay, I got to continue looking, and you continue to search, or miss that opportunity to find the answer that you're looking for. So that's really a great outlook to have.
Yeah. And I think all of us do that naturally, right? I mean, you go to a good new steak joint, you're going to come into the office, you're going to tell everyone about it. Hey, we went this spot, and now, we're just being a little bit more aggressive with, hey, how did you like our service? How was that project? Is there anybody else at your customer at your existing company that, you can introduce us to? And just having those conversations, just like you would about, hey, we're looking for a new restaurant, let's do the same thing we're looking for a new supplier. Well, what about your existing suppliers? Is there anybody there that could work? And we've found a lot of success with that. Of course, there's always new customers coming in. That's the lifeblood of the growth of the business too. But don't discount, what you already have, and continue to build on that. Water those seeds, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to slide in here. So Michael, if you recall, we were talking baseball before we came on. So Damon's Seattle Mariners have made the playoffs. Your Chicago Cubs are in the playoffs. And so we had a little rounding the bases exercise. Remember, we had totally rolled up our sleeves, geeked out, and we put our customers in buckets. You and I, was it you? I feel I'm putting you on the spot. Blue Ocean Strategy. Did you and I geek out about Blue Ocean Strategy? Was that?
Yes, we did. Yeah, I actually, boom, got it right here.
Got the book. There we go.
You know what? We didn't plan that either.
No.
So I think when we first met, I'm a huge Blue Ocean guy, and I felt, if I recall, and I'm not a young guy anymore, Michael. I don't know if you knew that or not. I know I fake you out once in a while, but I thought you and I had geeked out about Blue Ocean, and we were talking about Blue Ocean, kind of bucketing customers. And another thing that I really admired, that you took some really bold steps, lean into your customers, your processes. Hey, we're going to aggressively grow. I mean, that's a mindset shift. Like Damon, we just had Diane Bayer on the show 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about the book Mindset. Yep. And so with the Blue Ocean Strategy, I admired what I feel that I learned from you, Michael, is that you learned to be disciplined and kind of get out of the red ocean, right? Does that ring a bell to you? Like, can you share a little bit on like how Blue Ocean has had an impact on you personally, and as you guys have grown the company to an Inc. 5000 company, what has Blue Ocean Strategy meant for you?
Yeah, I mean, for us, there's a lot of guys that are out there that are making chemical feed systems, and there's a lot of, wastewater, municipal water plants that need chemical feed systems. And, what we've done is we've just said, hey, we don't want to be in that red ocean, right? We want to separate ourselves and get into, the harsh environments, the harsher chemicals. We want to do things that are, kind of a little harder to do, right? And, whether it's something like an automatic filler machine, or if it's something that's helping, people that are doing 1,000 cans a minute of carbonated soft drinks, these are things that are higher speed, higher spec, that isn't something that you can just do, on day one, for a chemical feed company. But because of our, Hall of Fame, engineers that we have here, on the electrical side, mechanical side, we've got guys that, you throw, a curveball at them, they're going to not just hit it out of the park, but they're going to take it and they're going to hit it 3 times out of the park. They're amazing. And I'm just blessed to work with them. And I think that's really for us, we look for those hard problems. And there's times where customers come to us and say, hey, we want, a bread and butter machine. And we say, hey, listen, if you want one of those machines, go to those guys down the street. We'd prefer to refer you out than to take on something that really isn't kind of differentiate ourselves. And that's really, that's who we are as a company. We've got all the electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, structural engineers, automation engineers here in house. There are a lot of guys that, hey, we'll just slap a pump and a couple pipes together at two guys in a garage. If you're looking for that sort of project and that sort of solution, there's 1,000 people all over this country that can help you. But when you're looking for something that's a little unique, a little more special, a little bit higher speed, higher pressure, more caustic chemicals, things like that, that's where we shine. And we love to work on those projects because it really helps separate us and put us into that blue ocean you're talking about, Kurt.
God,
but you as people too outshine that too. So give yourselves also credit, right? Your team. If I was one of those companies, I would be looking for someone that I actually want to work with, who's going to help me through the entire process. Isn't going to just be give us what you need and here we'll put it together and then that's it. So sayonara, nobody talks about it after that. And so I think you guys got to give yourself credit as people too, because you guys collaborate throughout the entire process, not just at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
What do you have, Damon?
I think I just got to pull it out of the box again. We're dropping the mic on it.
I'd love when Damon drops the mic right there. So that was phenomenal. So kudos to both you guys. And I apologize. I got to we got to go one step further. Michael, the discipline that it takes for a company. Did I mention you guys made the Inc. 5? Did I tell everybody out there that they made the Inc. 5000? Did I mention that one?
I haven't heard that yet.
Hey, Paolo, did you know that? And they won the Innovator of the Year award. So, Michael, what's that thing over your shoulder? I can't see that.
Oh yeah, a little Inc. 5000 award over there. Yeah.
Was that intention? Like, how long did it take? So again, like for entrepreneurs out there that, Damon, we had a guest on one time. She said, like, what's that? I can't remember the phrase, like the I don't want this project. I can't remember the phrase that she used, but what was it? A collective effort? Was it, the executive team said, like, we're not doing this anymore. Like, we lose money on this project or it's not a good fit for us. Like, what did it take for you guys to make? That's a tough decision. Because like it's not like you're selling a couple $1,000 unit. Like this is big dollars.
What hundreds of thousands of dollars you're turning down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're turning down big projects. I think we've got roughly 10x of our revenue is in quote activity, and so we've got a lot of quotes that we do, and these aren't things that you're quoting an apple or an orange, right? I mean, this is something you're putting together, a lot of engineering time to even quote something.
Yeah.
And so I think what we've learned is that, hey, there's just some people we just won't even quote. We just say, hey, listen, we appreciate the opportunity, but this isn't the right project for us. And we found that people are surprised by that. People are like, hey, that takes guts, that takes confidence in who you are, right? And, to turn away from something, that's not something that's usual for a sales guy, right? Sales guys like to say yes to everything.
To everything, right?
Yeah. So we've been able to kind of teach our team, to say, hey, raise your hand, say this isn't the right project for us. And let's go back to the drawing board with the customer and say, hey, this isn't the right project for us, but this is who we are. This is what we do. When you find the right project to work with us on, we'd love to work with you and wish you the best. And I think that's really the biggest thing about the Inc. 5000 and the growth is, you have to know who you are. You have to have that confidence in what you offer and what you do well, and be okay saying no.
And going back to that, when you are questioning it, go back to that. Like, put that on the door. That's what I love our whole process of digital game plan. Like, if you feel yourself stuck, you got to go back to find out, okay, who am I? Who do we serve? What problem are we solving for them? And then that should be like your permission to be like, okay, this isn't fit for me this time. So that's great. That's great advice for any industry, any business type that you out there.
Every entrepreneur. Damon, what are your thoughts? Blue ocean strategy here that we're.
No, I love how you've done that, right? Because you begin to separate yourself into the projects that are right for you, that are the right level of challenge, and really distance yourself from others, because now you have multiple projects in those difficult industries, or like you said, caustic, high pressure, whatever the situation, rather than that could be mixed in with a bunch of other ones, and you really don't stand out in that situation. Like if somebody comes to you with that situation that is around one of those specialties that you've got in that blue ocean, you're a natural choice.
Right.
And that's what's so cool about that, I think.
Right. Man, all right, this is phenomenal. I know, Michael, we could keep you here all day. We're going to start winding down. Because, man, you've got systems to build. You've got customers to take care of. You've got to get it on the Inc. 5000 again. So, like, you're a busy dude. You got 4 wonderful kids. So, Michael's a busy guy. Michael, a couple of questions for you. AI. How is, as a manufacturer, if you want to share, like, how are you guys instituting AI? Is AI helping you, advancing, anything that you want to share there?
Oh yeah, I mean we're using the AI tools, for proposal development. We're also looking at it for some of our marketing needs, and we're also investigating some AI projects where it's going to take us a little further into some of the 3D modeling and concept building. Right now, our processes, we are quoting something based on very basic information, right? So not really enough to really fully design a system on. But, with AI, we're able to help, kind of flesh out some of those details, put that together into a proposal, and then also deliver something very clear to the customer that they know what they're going to buy, right? So I think that's really what's helped us separate us from the competition is, our detailed nature of even how we approach the quote and a proposal, and AI helps with that. It shortens the time needed to quote something, and it also helps us kind of transfer that knowledge from the quote stage over to the engineering stage when we do get the project.
Yeah.
Wow, absolutely love it. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna grab your website real quick before we close out. So, hey, look at this picture right there, guys.
Hey, there you go.
Look at that handsome devil. So, like you mentioned, you guys have all sorts of information, tons of content here, out teaching the competition, elevating your customers. So again, guys, strongly encourage you, stop by the AmeriChem Systems website, connect with Michael on LinkedIn. Michael, moving forward, what are you super excited about at AmeriChem? What are you looking into the future? What are you super excited about?
We're doing some really cool projects right now, Kurt, with, some of these advanced national laboratories, which is really cool. Ooh. These guys are shooting lasers at incredible speeds and temperatures. And I kid you not, one of these projects we're working on, they're shooting a laser through the earth from Chicago all the way to the Dakotas and hitting a target that's about the size of a football field. From that distance, so wow. Really cool stuff that we're helping them to keep their lasers super cold, super accurate, super efficient. And we're also doing some other really cool stuff on the cutting edge of technology with carbon capture equipment, trying to help keep the environment clean, from some of these plants that are burning a lot of coal. And it's really cool because, not only are we doing the right thing, making the environment more clean, but we're also helping these plants, keep running for another 20, 30 years because if they can't meet the EPA standards, they have to shut down. And that costs, hundreds of billions of dollars to try and build something else or shut it down. And we can build a system for them that will help them keep running, which is really neat too. So I nerd out on that, cutting edge technology stuff. And just anything we can do to help those guys kind of push the frontiers, right?
Gosh, I'll tell you, you use the word blessed quite often. You are blessed, my friend, on many levels. Yeah. And gosh, you just absolutely love coming to work or what, man?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, like Paolo said, we got to have fun here, right? And if you're having fun, it's not really work, right? You're just coming here to have a good time. And it shows by our passion, and that rubs off on our clients and our partners. And it's just great when you can get together and have a good group of people that you just love to be around. And of course, we all do it, for our families, right? That's the end goal, is to go home with our families safe. And we love just doing anything that's high quality, that's going to keep people safe. And at the end of the day, let's have fun doing it.
Well, I think I would actually change that word to joy, because things can sometimes when you're going through things, it's not fun to do, but you can still have joy in what you're doing when it's not fun. So I would switch it from fun to joy now that I'm like listening to our conversation.
Yeah,
spot on. Yeah, I agree.
It's a joy making the Inc. 5000, isn't it? So, so we're going to wind down. Michael, I'm telling you, dude, you absolutely make the world a better place. It is such an honor and privilege for us. You've been talk about joy. It's been an absolute joy working with you through our friends at IMEC. Paula, closing thoughts. What do you have to say as we close out?
No, that was my closing thoughts.
That's your closing thoughts.
There you go.
Enjoy. Damon, what are your takeaways today?
Thanks, Michael, for being here today, talking about AmeriChem, because it is so cool to see a manufacturer like you guys designing and developing these solutions that helps so many things around us.
Well, absolutely love it. Mike, I do have one last question though. Michael, you did catch our show last week, so you might know this question's coming at you. It's a baseball question. You ready?
Okay, let's hear it.
You sitting down? I'm
sitting up.
Okay. All right, Michael, it is the bottom of the ninth. We're at Wrigley. Cubs are playing the dreaded Cardinals. Bottom of the ninth. Whoa. 2 outs. It's a tie score. There's a guy on second base. Okay. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with
Wrigley,
you.
Cardinals, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, guy on second base. We've got to get that run and win the game. Manager looks on the bench, says, "Hey, Perry, grab your helmet, grab your bat, get up there, hit in the winning run." Okay, you with me?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Grab your helmet, you grab your bat, you're walking up to the plate. On your way to the plate to hit in the winning run, what's your walk-up song?
Oh, We Will Rock You. Let's do this.
Damon, he didn't even bat an eye. Didn't even bat an eye. Michael, good answer. We Will Rock You, man. He had that one coming, didn't he?
That's it. Doesn't get any better.
Well, Michael, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody out there. Thank you for the comments. We appreciate you guys so much. Michael, hey, you know what? We've gone for 51 minutes. If you've been sitting for 51 minutes, it's a great time to stand up, stretch, and give a big round of applause for Michael Perry at AmeriChem. Michael, thank you for joining us today. I know you're a busy guy. Guys, we're going to close out. Thank you for joining us. Connect with Michael. If you missed any of this, Damon, what do we like to say?
Go back to the beginning because Michael dropped a lot of great information. And don't forget to check out the AmeriChem Systems website and look at the awesome stuff they're doing to help people and educate their customers on that.
Yeah.
It's great examples.
And I don't know if anybody knows this or not. They made the Inc. 5000. And so this is like a master class on how to get your company on the Inc. 5000. So Michael, hang out with us for 1 second, guys. God bless you. We wish you an amazing rest of your day. We're back here Friday with another wonderful guest, and we will see you soon.
See ya, everyone.
Bye.